it's Jonathan from Bullet Motorsports. Today we're going to teach you how to buy a classic car online. Our brief history, we've sold over 1,900 cars sight unseen using the internet. We've been featured on Motor Trend magazine, Bang Shift, Jalopnik, even on Times Square. Thank you, Chase Bank. Also, we've been featured in Entrepreneur magazine, and hopefully we can help you put that dream ride in your garage. First steps, you're going to pull a pen and paper out because we're going to give you a lot of key points. You're going to want to do a little bit of research on the type of vehicle you want. So do you want a convertible? Do you want a muscle car? Or do you want a sports car? Whatever. First thing, Google it. Let's Google Buick Grand Nationals because that's something that I have a passion for. You're going to start doing some research. You're going to see what's available for sale, what price points there are. And once you kind of acclimate yourself to what's available in the market, that's when you want to do your second tier of research. And I'm going to give you guys 3 sites that I really like. One's an app actually, but they do have a website. Starting off with NADA guides. That's going to give you valuations. So say you want to finance these cars, that's going to allow you to be able to think about how high you can go on your financing. NADA guides will give you from project all the way to concourse, and they have a nice guide set up where you don't have to log in, and you can see, say you look up the Grand National like we just said now, you could see the actual prices tiered based on what they've sold for, and there's a lot of nice write-ups on things to look for as well. Hagerty is going to be a really strong tool for you because it's going to have market research in regards to sale prices. So they do a ton of research from auction sales, private sales, and they're connected to a lot of sites like ClassicCars.com, etc. They also list vehicles for sale. I would say that that is a really strong suit for me when I'm looking because then I could go, okay, this is concourse, and why is it concourse? They give you like a little spreadsheet on what to look for. The next one's my secret sauce. Not many people know about it, so I'm giving you the inside view here. It's called Hammer Price. You can download it on your app store, and then if you're in an auction or you want to look up prior sales for the past month, you can. This is the secret sauce if you're starting to buy online for classic cars in regards to valuations. You can click on it, you can type in Buick Grand National under the search tab. There's a lot of key features there, but just go to your search. It'll give you results for the past auctions and recent sales. Once the results are visible, you can see a timeline. So you can see where they're trending, if it's selling up or down, and that's gonna help you make a decision on where you wanna offer. And you can also compare the vehicle you're looking at from Google to what has sold in the past, so you don't get scammed. All right, you guys have done your market research. The next thing to do is go hunting. So I'm gonna give you guys several sites to look at that I think are beneficial, that I've used, that help me look for inventory. In your case, you're looking for your dream ride, so hopefully we can help you here. One thing to look out for are scams. If the price is too good to be true, or if they don't want to talk to you on the phone, they just want a money order, it's probably a scam. We'll go into more details in regards to scams that happen online later on in this video, but right now I'm going to give you guys the sites that I use to buy classic cars. First one's going to be ClassicCars.com. That's a great website because you can look up vehicles based on year, price point, etc. In this video, we're looking up Grand National, so we'll do that right now. They have listing formats, which would be auction or just a listing. So your listing is just going to be something that has like $39.95 or best offer, and you can contact them and buy it. Or if it's an auction, you have to actually bid on it, and there's a time period where you could bid and win. The next site that I really like is Hemmings.com. This is also a listing and auction site, but they have great inventory. When you go through it, you can actually look through the vehicles by make, model, and year. And then you also can look at trends and values on there too. Great site, take a look at it. All right, the next one we're gonna go to is one of my favorite sites. It's bringatrailer.com. We actually sell on there, but I also have purchased on there. What I really like about this site is the amount of effort that the publishers go into for you to not get scammed. So they're asking for pre-title pictures. They're getting almost 100 photos per listing. And throughout the bidding process, because this is a 7-day auction normally, you have the ability to write comments below. These sellers, if they're good sellers, are gonna respond. So you have a really clear picture of what you're buying. And then there's also the know-it-alls, which are just people that comment, and they're gonna point out every imperfection for you so you don't have to do any of the work. We've bought a lot of cars on there. I think that's a great site. Another great auction site is eBay Motors. You can go on there and you can actually look up the vehicles just like all these other sites we're talking about. They're normally in auction format, which is 7 or 10 days, and you can actually message the customer, you can ask for more pictures. It's a semi-secure deal, but you always want to make sure you get the driver's license and a copy of the actual title before you process any type of payment. Don't hold the buyback guarantee on cars for eBay because it's not true. You want to make sure that you do your due diligence, and I would 100% recommend sending an inspector for $300 to look at it before the auction ends, and then you make your deal. The other two sites we're going to talk about would be Facebook Marketplace, which is a great site to find inventory near you or away from you, and Craigslist. Craigslist also does it based on location. You can also search different locations too. We'll start off with Facebook Marketplace. So Facebook is obviously to connect people. If you like certain things, you can join groups, photography or cars. So if you like Grand Nationals, you could join Grand National groups, and they're going to help you make a decision. You're going to be able to find vehicles on there for sale. Another nice thing about Facebook is, Ralph just told me, he's behind it, he's back there. He goes, you can look up and see what they're selling. So say Joe Smo has this T-Type for sale, you can look and see if he's selling other items as well, and that kind of helps you make a decision if he's a real seller. Also, you can look up, maybe you have mutual friends. That's another benefit. And if you're on those turbo groups or Grand National groups, you can actually take a screenshot of the listing and share it on there and be like, hey, does anybody know this guy? And most of the time, if no one responds, I would be weary of buying it sight unseen without an inspection. Craigslist is free to list, so you have to be very careful. This is probably the scammiest site for car sales because you're gonna have people list from different states. They're gonna ask you for money orders, the whole 9 yards. So what I recommend for Craigslist is that's only local. If you see something good, go with your friend, make sure you keep the cash in a safe location and make the deal happen. It's really difficult to buy online sight unseen. Hopefully these steps that we've put here are gonna help you. What are the pros and cons of buying from a private versus an individual dealer? So if there's an issue, a dealer is going to be someone that you can go to and resolve it. An individual is not going to do anything. You're buying it as is, where is. You can't leave a review. So a dealer, you can leave a review. The second thing is you can look up prior reviews for a dealer. You can't do that for an individual unless it's on Facebook where you can see if they've sold other things. The second thing would be ownership history. So for a dealer, unless they have paperwork, it's very difficult because dealers buy in bulk. If you're buying from an individual, it's going to be better because if they've owned the car for 10 years, you get to sit down and talk to them and find out the full history. So I'd say a private individual for ownership history is going to be much better. For funds transfer, a dealer is going to be a lot easier because they have a brick and mortar location compared to a private individual that most likely would be weary of giving you their bank information unless they've done it before. I would say a dealer is safer, but you might be able to get more information if it's a private individual. All right, you guys have found your dream ride. Let me give you guys the questions to ask so you guys are protected from making a bad decision. First thing is make direct contact. You're gonna wanna contact the seller and go, hey, how you doing, how you feeling, and see if they have a positive mindset or tone. Also ask them where they're located and what their zip code is. Normally, if they're scamming you, they're not gonna give you the right answer based on what you're gonna receive in the future for paperwork. So think about that. Another thing you wanna ask is, are they open for inspections? Inspections are normally $300, and that's peace of mind instead of getting a giant project on your end in the future. Once they say yes to the inspection, these are the questions I would ask before spending the money on the inspection. First thing, is there rust? And if there's rust, like little spots, it's not a big deal if it's an older classic car. Just ask them to take pictures for you. The honesty at the beginning before the inspection is going to be a big determining factor for the purchase in the future. Our next question that I would ask is, what does it currently need? Does it need belts? Does it need an oil change? Are the tires 30 years old? Find out all those questions. Let them kind of talk to you about the car. Be like, hey, would you do a road trip on this car? And that'll help you out. When it rains, does it leak? That's another question I would ask as well, because sometimes these cars are just in garages. So if they say, no, we just keep it in the garage, it doesn't leak, ask them when they wash it, does it leak or do the windows get humid? Because that could be a problem if you're gonna keep it outside. Next thing we're gonna ask is, does it smell inside? You can usually tell on the phone if they do a slight pause that they probably have smoked in the car or it does have an odor. And if it was me, if it smells funny, see you later, out of here. The next thing we would do is ask if you can drive it back. I know I'm reiterating that, but that's a great question. Can I drive it back 300 miles or 400 miles? And if they're like, I don't know, probably walk away if they're telling you that it's a concourse driver or a driver quality car, because if it can't make that trip, there's no point in even spending the money on the inspection. Next step is to ask for additional photos. I'm not saying that you want a real additional photo. We're asking for additional photos that are not visible in the gallery already. So you can ask for a photo of inside the glove box or under the hood, and it's in a location where you would have to go to the car and take the picture. This is going to protect you, because if they don't have the car in their possession, they can't take that picture, and that's going to kind of weed out the scam aspect of a seller. Obviously, they would not accept you to do a inspection if they didn't have the car, but if they wanted you to have a deposit down before the inspection, that could be their whole entire motive for their scam. So that's something to look out for. Next step would be to ask if it leaks any fluids. Every single classic car leaks fluids, but it's better to know what you're gonna have to go up against in regards to how much cardboard you're gonna have to put underneath your car when you park it. Closing on a deal, you guys have finalized that you want this vehicle, so what do you do next? If it's a private sale, you're gonna ask for a copy of driver's license and a copy of the title. You're gonna compare those two items, look at his driver's license. Okay, this is the address. Is it on the title? Yes, it is. That's a good step. Second step is going to be to compare the VIN number on the vehicle to the title. Make sure that that's good to go. Once that is, next step is for you as a purchaser to create a bill of sale for the purchase. You're going to go on the internet and Google motor vehicle bill of sale for your state, fill out the seller's information with the driver's license info he gave you, and then your information on the bottom. You guys both sign it, so you can make a PDF of it or take a picture, send it to him, get him to sign it. You guys both have copies of that. Once that happens, you're going to start to do the transfer of funds. Normally, you can do a wire transfer, a cashier's check, or a personal check. Once the funds clear is when you'll start to work on transport. If you need help with transport, we can help you out. We have a transport tab on our site or in the link below. Or if you want to just Google transport of classic car to your zip code, you can do that too. If you're buying it from a dealer like ourselves, we're going to give you all the information you need already. So you're going to get a purchase packet that has a cover letter breaking down the sale and transport, bill of sale, buyer's guide, copy of title, and then the wire transfer instructions. That's when you send us the money and you're good to go. One thing to look out for is there is a scam for dealers where individuals or scammers will find dealerships that don't have internet presence, but they have a small lot, and they'll create a website using their information and putting cars on there that are too good to be true. Obviously, we've already just gone around all this by doing the inspection, but if you didn't do an inspection, be wary of that. So what I recommend to do if it's a smaller dealer or if the deal kind of feels too good to be true is to Google and find their phone number on the state site. Call that phone number and see if they actually have those vehicles for sale. And more than likely, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, you're the fifth person to call about a website. We don't have a website. Hopefully, all this content is going to help you guys make a really good decision on buying a classic car online, sight unseen. If you think we missed something, write a comment below. Thanks for hanging out, guys. If you've ever been scammed or if you think we missed any of the information on how to buy a car online, please leave a comment below. We're going to be putting out videos once a week in regards to helping you make a better decision on buying cars online, what to look out for, the whole 9 yards. We also have our Hot Sauce Thursday. So thanks again. See you later. Like and subscribe. Click on the notification bell for more content. See you later.